All right, today's video, we're gonna talk about the design trends to absolutely stay away from if you're looking to renovate your home, whether you're looking to stay and enjoy it for years to come, or if you're looking to sell your property. We don't want you going through the time and hassle, spending all kinds of money and actually losing in the end. And at the end of the video, make sure to stick around and actually give you a bonus tip for what to do when renovating your home. As a reminder, I'm Mike Thornton. I'm a realtor here in the western suburbs of Chicago. If you're interested in our area, want to know more about the market here, or just want to connect, reach out to us. Our information's in the description below, but let's jump right in. All right, so the first trend to avoid is going with gray paint. Gray is definitely out. I think it's been out for a little bit now, but it's still a common choice for many people. And the way you know it's kind of on the way out is you start seeing flippers using it all the time. So that's what you're seeing, and you have seen for years and years and years as the paint color of choice, but it's definitely on its way out. I think what you want to do instead, there's some really cool, like softer whites that you can use. Swiss coffee is a color that's very popular, but something in the neutral, natural, taupey family, creamy family, that is definitely more on trend right now. And the area, and that's definitely the palette you want to stick with, because you still want to be neutral. You just don't want to be on the gray side of neutral. You want to be more on the natural tones or the taupes and the creams, or even a super soft like green color is also something that you see a lot more in today's design. All right, along the same lines as far as color goes, the next thing you want to avoid, trend number 2, is white on white on white on white kitchens. I know that's been popular for some time. We're definitely on the back end of that, where you see white shaker cabinets with white backsplash, white quartz counters. There's no interest, everything's the same color, and we're definitely seeing that on its way out. You want something with a little bit more character, richness, whether you have a glass backsplash that has some color to it, or you go with, natural oak cabinets, or even do an island that has a different color top. If you still want to go white on your counters, I think white's fine. It's when you go white on white that becomes a problem. So that is definitely something that's on the way out. You're seeing a lot more vintage looks in kitchens. Again, natural wood tones in kitchens, or mixing up the countertops, between the island and the rest of the counters. The next trend to avoid, still in the kitchen, open shelving. Now, I like open shelving. I think it's kind of cool. It can be done right, but the problem with it is once you start living in that space, it really becomes not very practical. Maybe it's because I have kids, but trying to think about a way to keep that area staged very well and the bowls to be just right, it's really not practical. You really don't store as much in that space as if you had a closed cabinet. And then once you start living in it again, you have half the bowls there, half the cups there. It just doesn't look right. It's not practical. And I would say stay away from that if you're going to renovate your kitchen. All right, the next one in theme to stay away from is open floor plans, believe it or not. Now, this is one that might shock you because you've been told that everyone wants an open floor plan, but as somebody that has shown hundreds, if not thousands of homes, it's actually something that's overwhelming for people. They walk into this big, giant open space where the kitchen is the dining room, which is the family room, which is the living room, and they have no idea how to decorate that space. They have no idea what to do. And what they end up doing is really not decorating it very well, and it looks cold, it's not inviting, it's not a place you really want to hang out, and it's really, in my opinion, not that practical, because it now becomes one giant room versus like some nice little moments throughout where you can still be connected but have separate groups like entertaining or doing different things. Like in that one big space, it's hard to have a nice meal as your kids watching Blippi on the TV, or cooking while your kids are playing. It's just like really difficult. So in my opinion, what people really like is they like some level of connectivity between the kitchen and, let's say, the family room, where you can see the kids playing. But if you wanted to have a nicer, more formal dinner, you'd have the dining room that's a little bit more separate, or you have another living space that might be off to the side, where you probably have sight lines into all those spaces where it feels somewhat connected, but it's not one giant room. Much easier to decorate, much better feel within, and even goes for really big, large homes. It's still a smart choice where you can just create a better moment in each one of those spaces. So the next design trend to stay away from is anything farmhouse. I know it had its day. You had a lot of shows that basically were made. Chip and Joanna Gaines basically make their money on farmhouse style, but that was about 10 or 12 years ago, believe it or not now. and it's definitely on its way out. So if you're thinking about shiplap, if you're thinking about a barn door going into the bathroom, something like that, those are trends that are definitely on their way out. It's something that I would not do, and I would think about ways to bring in a little bit more character to the space and something that's a little bit more timeless than that farmhouse look. Now, a bonus for you, so something to consider when you're renovating is, I kind of mentioned it, think about ways to make that renovation timeless. Something that would be stand the test of time, and if you decided to sit it for 20 more years, you'd still have a great foundation to work off of, or if you decided to sell it, it's something that would still be attractive to people. The way to do that, in my opinion, is to really mix different time periods together, or mix vintage with new. So you could do something like, for example, we're getting ready to redo our bathroom right now and just do a little bit of a refresh. And one simple thing we can do to kind of build in some character is, instead of going to Home Depot for, the kit of, towel rack and hooks and different things that's all black, we can go, and we will go to this architectural artifact store to get old vintage hooks to hang the towels on. They have a little bit of patina to them, they're worn, and they just have a little bit more character. Or we're looking at a vanity that's like a natural wood base that maybe was even a dresser that was converted, something like that, or a darker countertop. Maybe it's something that's just not typical that you would see. It's not that white quartz, something that's just got a little bit more to it. And I think those are great ways to kind of build in some character. The other way to build in character is through artwork. You could get some prints that have that vintagey feel to them. There's, a lot of great places online where you can go and get, vintage prints for fairly cheap, and then just put them in a nice frame. And that could be something that adds a little bit of character. So when framing it, if you stuck with like a natural wood frame, that maybe has a little bit more of a vintagey character feel than a white or black frame. I have some different frames behind me here, but that natural wood color might fit that a little bit better than just white or black everywhere you go. So the key is here is people are gravitating towards spaces that have some warmth, that have some different textures, some different, character, different time periods. It's building a space that has a feel to it. It's interesting, when buyers walk through a home, I've seen, time after time, they're actually attracted to things that have nothing to do with how the home is being conveyed. So they have that feeling within the first 10 or 15 seconds, and it has to do with the furniture and the layout and the lighting and the lamp and the way that the room is set up and the flow. And they're not even buying half that stuff. That stuff is really not even conveying with the property, maybe other than the lights. But that makes a big difference in the way you design your space for warmth and comfort, in addition to beautiful design. That will help you flat out enjoy your space more. And I think it's an investment that will pay back for when you're living in it, and also when you go to sell. So again, those are some themes and some trends to avoid, and then one trend to lean into as far as mixing and matching of time frames, building in some vintage with the new. And I think that will help you enjoy your space. Hope you found this helpful. Join us next time. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video.